Hey, Hillsdale UB. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, just in case you've kind of lost track and things are starting to blur together. I wanted to touch base with you today and talk about some of the things that we're going to have available to you and your families this week to celebrate Holy Week. Now, obviously, we would much rather be celebrating each of these events with you as our church family. Unfortunately, because of the way things are right now, this is just not possible. And so what we're trying to do is to put together a number of resources, some that will be video driven that you can just tune in and watch from our website or Facebook page. Other resources we're going to email to all of you, and there'll be self-guided devotionals and different thoughts that you might be able to do with your spouse or with your family. If you're single, you can do them alone and just work through the scripture readings and the thoughts and the reflection questions by yourself. But they're designed to be able to be done at home, and they're guided, so it shouldn't be too overwhelming or intimidating for anyone. But I wanted to talk through the schedule so you would know what to expect from us. First of all, tomorrow, Wednesday, you will be receiving your weekly edition of the Hillsdale UB Chronicle, which we've been trying to put out every week to give you some guided prayer, to talk about what's going on in the world of our church as it relates to this season of fighting Corona apart. We're fighting it together, but while we're apart. This week's edition of the Chronicle is going to have a list of supplies and preparations for you for Holy Week. Most of the events, as you know, in Holy Week come at the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So look tomorrow for your edition of the Chronicle. It'll tell you some of the resources you'll want to gather together in order to fully participate. One of those events, we're going to encourage you to take communion with your families. And so you'll need some juice, you'll need some bread, you'll need some of those supplies. And so we're going to lay all that out for you tomorrow. So you can put together a quick shopping list and get those things taken care of, or you can collect those from around the house. I think most of the materials you may even already have. We want you to be prepared to celebrate with a family. Then on Thursday evening, we're going to be making available to you and your families a guided family communion service that will celebrate what Jesus was doing with his disciples the night before his crucifixion. It'll help walk you through some of the memories that they were sharing, some of the discussions that they likely had around their table and around their meal. And so we want to kind of walk with you and help you have some of those same conversations, to read some of the same scriptures that maybe were passing through their minds and a part of their dialogue and their conversation around the table 2,000 years ago. So we'll have all that stuff available for you. Thursday, you can download that. Parents, if you want to guide your kids through that, there'll be questions to ask them and get some feedback from their minds as to their thoughts. That'll have some good scriptures to read, maybe even a couple links to some songs that maybe you'll want to sing together as a family as you celebrate Maundy Thursday, or the Passover as Jesus would have celebrated with his closest friends and maybe a couple even of his family members. Then on Friday, we've got a special video for you that's going to be a kind of a dramatic reading. It'll include some music and a monologue of sorts. Really powerful piece that we hope you'll join us for sometime on Friday. And you can just watch that together and use it as perhaps a springboard for some of your own reflections on the sacrifice that Christ made for us. And then, of course, Sunday, we want you to be ready to celebrate Easter with your families. And so what we want to provide for you for Sunday morning are two resources. One would be a family-guided sunrise devotional. And I would encourage you to think of a creative place where you and your family might start your Easter Sunday together, celebrating the resurrection. We know in the Bible that several of Jesus' loved ones traveled to the tomb to prepare his body, and that's when they discovered the empty tomb, that he had risen. And so we would love for your families to plan to start that day early together. And again, we'll give you some scripture to read, maybe some songs to sing, and some questions and things to discuss and consider amongst yourselves. And I would encourage you to, again, find a creative place. Maybe go out to one of your favorite locations. I know my family and I will probably be by the water somewhere, maybe over at Bobby's or someplace like that. And we're just going to sit together and enjoy the quiet of the morning and think about the significance of Christ's resurrection together. And then, as we have been doing every weekend, we'll make worship and teaching available. We'll have a regular church service online, of course, that you can tune into starting at 9 o'clock Sunday morning. And so there's 2 opportunities on Sunday. So again, just real quick, tomorrow you should be getting that edition of the weekly Chronicle that we send out that will help you prepare for the whole week. Thursday, the family self-guided Maundy Thursday celebration or communion service. Good Friday, we'll have a video for you to watch that will, I think, spark some good thoughts for you as a family. And then Sunday morning, 2 resources, one in print, self-guided devotional for you and your family, and then secondly would be our regular weekly worship. It's a special week. Just because we can't be together in the same place doesn't mean we can't really spend significant time reflecting on what Jesus did for us and celebrating what he accomplished on our behalf. I hope you'll join us for all of these opportunities, and that as we spread around the community and really the entire county, that people will see God's people celebrating his goodness, his triumph over sin and death together as we celebrate Jesus and all that he's done. Should be a tremendous Holy Week for us all, one of great reflection that will draw us closer to him. We'll be praying for you as always as we continue to celebrate this week and work together as we await being rejoined so that we might worship again together very soon. Take care, everyone.